Hey, how's everybody doing today? Just vibing out real quick, but we'll get started in a second. I gotta give a shout out to Mike Teasy from North Carolina. He remixed Chris Brown's "Call Me Every Day," and he did a Christian remix. So that's what you just heard. I was just vibing out till it was pretty hot. But my name is Ricardo Cordu, and I want to welcome you to day number 18 of the Walk With Me Challenge. And so, I skipped the day not on purpose, but I was traveling, so you had to give me a day to recover real quick. But literally got here today, Vancouver, Canada, and I'm telling you, it's exciting. It's good to be in another country, and I'm about to spread the good news like I've been spreading to y'all. And so, be like, Ricardo, what's the Walk With Me Challenge? If you've seen it earlier, I was walking around Canada, seeing all the sights, but basically focusing 30 minutes a day, some type of workout exercise where you're able to join me. And through that, I'm going to drop some nuggets, some information that hopefully you can apply to your life that'll help you get to the next step in your life. And so we've been on this whole kick about what successful people do to keep growing. And so we are on day 18, going on day 19 strong. But I wanted to come on here real quick and just encourage you that successful people know how to encourage themselves. And so I remember when it was probably about 10 years ago, I remember sitting in a conference and one of the leaders were talking about how you need to expose yourself to things so that you can begin the process of being able to see how it feels. So for instance, he gave an example. He was talking about a car. And so Rolls Royce, he was like talking about going to the Rolls Royce place and sitting in the car and smelling it, and subconsciously thinking about how that when you get into something like that, that's all you want. And so for me, right, for what I've learned from that is that I should believe much bigger, much sooner. So successful people don't put limits on what they believe. There's no limitation, there's no lid, right? I think sometimes we get focused so much on goals that we lose focus on allowing God to exceed our expectation. And so I did a quote earlier today. I was sitting there, I was flying in the plane. This is a quote, so I want you to think about this. You may be sitting, but God is flying. Allow God to navigate you to destinations that will far exceed your expectation. I want you to hear it again. You may be sitting, but God is flying. Allow God to navigate you to destinations that will far exceed your expectation. So I want you to think about that. And so we always talk about allowing people to be in the driver's seat of their own life. We talk about the responsibility that you put on yourself as you focus and you keep on going, you keep going strong, and you keep being consistent. But at some point, you got to be able to relieve the pressure and give it to God and let God's will be done for your life. And so, for instance, right now I'm literally sitting in Canada, and I want to say, what I say? I was talking to my wife a couple months ago, and I was just like, hey, my goal, for this year is to do, 6 presentations that I'm invited to speak to. I didn't put, for me, I was thinking local. I was thinking about, locally, right? But man, if I tell you what, like literally in September, so I already did 6 presentations. One presentation, it was an international. It was a founders conference for people who are doing funding for community development institutions, funding to local downtowns. And so I was exposed first to that. So that was like my first exposure. And then I did a couple local events. And so I did like 5 events so far in the year. But I tell you, man, when I started doing this prayer challenge, when I started doing this Walk With Me challenge, I literally, in the last 21 days, I've done 6 major presentations. Literally 6. My goal was 6 for the year, and I did 6 in 1 month. Like, to the point where now I'm in Canada right now, right? Like I was on a panel that was sponsored by Google. Last week I was booked at Douglas Theater the week before. I was at a women's empowerment kind of luncheon and on a speaking there too, you know. And so I just been going around speaking in all these different places, and I just for me, what I want you to get from this today is that when you put it on paper, right, and you take massive action, don't put limits on your expectations. Like double your expectations and allow God to far exceed your expectations. One of my, one of the leaders I always like listen to, he talks about how one thing he would have changed, he'd have believed much bigger, much sooner. And now me sitting in the driver's seat and him saying that, now I understand that I should believe much bigger, much quicker, much sooner. And so this is me saying that, even me challenging myself, saying I need to believe much bigger, much sooner. The things that I talk about, the career that I'm doing, my heart that the mindset I have to spend time with people and want to see pour value into their lives. What I have to offer is important. Just like you have something to offer your community, your canvas or your avatar or whatever you want to call it. You have something that people need. And so today, I really challenge you to believe much bigger, much sooner. Sit in the seat. You're sitting in the seat and God is flying. Allow him to navigate your life, because all he's going to do is exceed your expectations. You hear me? So I'll see you on tomorrow for day number 19 of the Walk With Me challenge. All right. Love y'all. Bye-bye.